Well. Here we go again. I have tea. And my chat decided to stop working. Hang on. Let me address the fact that my chat just quit. There we go. All right. Oh my god, no. Zhongli, please. Stop, buddy. Stop, buddy. You know where they are. Stop pretending like they're all dead. Only like half of them are dead. Goodness. Was it mushroom tea? No, it wasn't. Tea without sugar, for sure. Without sugar. I'm mostly, I guess, I mostly do herbal tea, I think, for the most part. If not, it's like straight black tea. But the thing about tea for me is that I think black tea tastes really weird with milk and cream. Or milk and cream and or sugar, you know, any combination thereof. But I will say that green tea, for some reason, I really enjoy with cream and sugar. I don't know why. It's I don't know. Maybe it's, I've had real green tea, but I think green tea just tastes more better to me than black tea. And I like to leave my tea bags in the thing, so I actually like them a little bit better. So it feels weird to say that, but anyway. Wow, I didn't play all day and my resin still hasn't capped. Look at that. Convenient. Anyway, I'm just going to be kind of bumming around and doing my dailies, and then we're going to go to the Archipelago, and I'm going to try and hunt down a couple of the last chests that I have, I think. I think I have, like... I don't actually know, because I haven't done a chest guide or anything, but I know that I'm missing a few chests and a conch in Mona's domain, and I kind of want to get rid of it because it bugs me. Yeah. So I want to do that. But I kind of want to keep all discussion and questions kind of focused on Sumeru, because there's a lot, even though we've barely kind of gotten started. Is it today or tomorrow? It's Wednesday in the Eastern time zone. Eastern US, I think. I think. No, I kind of want to check. It's in like, it's like... Where do you want to go next? It's like in 30-ish hours, 30-something hours or so. That's probably a better way to put it. Anyway, I'm more than happy if you guys want to share your theories and so on. I would love to hear them, because like we don't, I shouldn't say we don't know a whole lot, because we do actually know a whole lot if you participate in the preload. Preload does give you text files, and you can kind of read a lot of the quests if you really want to. I don't particularly enjoy consuming the content that way. I feel like you lose a lot. But I do know that there's a lot of information out there right now that is very spoilery. So if you haven't read any of the text dump, that is preferable if you would like to share your theories. Yes, people definitely do that. Yep. Jenaju, you said that Candace or Kandake, I don't know how her name is pronounced yet, we'll see, might have a connection to Conria. Might I add that she also has a starry type clothing associated with abyss powers? Yeah, I said that a little bit in jest, because diamond pupils are a little bit rare. I know that Shinobu and Chongyun have pupils that kind of look a little bit diamond, but they're actually slitted. They don't have the angles on them. And I know that she doesn't have the concave edges. Like, the edges of her diamond pupils are not turned inwards at all, you know? So that actually makes her eyes a little bit more like Xiao's than, you know, Kaeya's, for example. But... whoops. It's good. It's good. It would be interesting, though. I do wonder if she has some mixed blood of sorts in her. It does look like she's not completely the same as most people. I don't want to say she's not like a normal person or that she's not human. I don't think that's quite the case. Where is this guy going? Come back here. Hi. Why is he running from me?
Out of my way.
Lightning is just fun. Where are they? Where are all the... Oh, there you are. I was wondering where these little guys went. I hate it when they send reinforcements because then I never know where they are. Leaf Chan just got here, so sorry if you've already answered, but have you seen the new character art? Yes, I have. I have seen it. 'Tis interesting. I'm glad we finally have a full body shot of Sino, man. That poor guy. But you know what? I also knew that thing on his belt wasn't a vision. It has a dot in the middle of it. Shinobu was clearly designed for Dendro in mind, especially with everything Dendro scaling with EM. I wonder what kinds of teams I can put her on as soon as Sumeru drops. It's going to be really interesting. What I think is really interesting, this isn't lore related at all, but something I think's fascinating about the drip marketing, the 3 characters that we got, is that none of them are actually Dendro. We've got 2 Hydros and an Electro unit. And Hydro and Electro are 2 of the units that react with Dendro the best so far. Because I don't really know how useful burning will be, and we don't know a whole lot about Burgeon, so, you know. But the fact that they went and released 2 Dendro units plus Dendro MC, so technically 3, and then they went the very next patch and didn't release another Dendro unit, but instead released reaction-based Dendro units, you know, like units from elements that react with Dendro specifically really well. It tells me a little bit about what their intentions are as so far as like what types of teams they want to encourage us to play and how they want us to experiment. So, Nilu, for example, I think it's Nilu. I think I have to turn off this vibration, man, because this is going to drive me crazy. There. Out of context, that sounds funny. No, it's my phone just updated, and yeah, anyway. Changed all my notification settings, and it's not fun. So yeah, I think insofar as Shinobu is concerned, I really think that we should think about her a little bit in terms of some of these newer non-Dendro units that are coming out. Just because they will be designed for the actual oh wait, those are... You are Anemo. I guess I don't really have to do anything with them, but whatever. Oh. I wasn't paying attention and she just kind of vanished. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Yep. Yeah, so I think we should kind of look at her in terms of like the reactionary units, because I think those will illustrate how MiHoYo wants us to interact with Dendro as an element. That was kind of like my long my long spiel. Where am I going? I'm going here. This is what happens when I don't pay attention. I go this way. Okay, we're going this way. We're going this way. We're going this way. Queer Bunny, thanks for the super chat. Hi, I just want to say I appreciate you and your wonderful Discord and content. Technology is currently disrespecting me, so here I am to feel better. I don't know what technology is disrespecting you, but I've heard that if you slap it really hard, sometimes it breaks it, but sometimes it makes it work. It's terrible advice, but the choice is yours. I remember being told a story once about a guy who was like, he was this... there was a machine on a boat, like a boiler, right? And it was busted and it wouldn't work. And no one could make it work, none of the mechanics. And then one guy comes in, and he's this really experienced mechanic. And he basically takes a wrench and whacks the boiler once. And then the boiler works all of a sudden, right? And then he gives the people who own the boiler like this massive bill. And they're like, what the heck? You only did work for like 2 minutes. And he's like, yeah, but I've got like 30 years of experience. And that's how I know where to hit the machine. I think about that a lot. Anyway. Anywho. I hope the technology stops disrespecting you. One rosy ferret. Do you think there's anything more to Kokomi other than just cool warfish? Yes, but I don't think we'll get to see it for a while. Like, a long while. I do think she's important, though. The fact that she's rerun with the Archon of a nation twice is kind of, important, I feel. What about Baizu? What about Baizu? What do you want to know in relation to that? Because I do have some stuff I want to talk about with Baizu, but it's probably going to wait until Sumeru actually comes out because I need to get some things confirmed before I actually make that theory video. I don't need a theory confirmed. I just need like a couple of mechanical things confirmed before I do it. Speaking of, though, I will say that I think the next 2 or so videos that I do probably, actually, you know, the next 3 videos will probably have nothing to do with Sumeru. And the reason is because it's probably going to take me a while to just digest everything that's in Sumeru because we're going to have a lot. I will say that I've started getting a head start. I have read the descriptions for the whatchamacallits, the weapon ascension material, and I've read the artifact lore so far. And that's basically what I've read so far. Because I figure if it's out in 24 hours, then I can read that ahead of time. That's not going to hurt anything. Because I'm not making content before then. So I do know that much. So I know what we're in for in terms of like the sheer amount of stuff that we're getting. We're getting a lot. So it's going to take me a while to process that. So I think I'm going to hit a couple of videos in the backlog and then probably do the Baizu one next. And then we'll cover some Sumeru stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Is there any theory or anything at all for Yao Yao? There's literally nothing. Literally nothing. Oh, these guys are gone. Oh wait, no, there they are. They were hiding. Damn, they are good hiders. Bye, little dude. Yep. Electro no elected. What? What do I think about Collei? I mean, in what respect? Because, like, I have a lot of thoughts about Collei. Or Collei? Is it Collei, Collei, or Collei? I don't know. I should have just waited until I got, like, 2 more resin before doing that. Whatever. So I'm actually a little bit disappointed in Collei. Just because her vibe and everything that she had going for her in the comic was so different. So my expectations were just in a different place. So I think like design-wise and personality-wise, she's not at all what I was anticipating. But I do think she's cute. And I think she's got such... She has like so many callbacks to Amber, which I just think is adorable in the way that they handled that. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on her right now. She just kind of... How to say... I'm not really sure if they're ever going to address the snake they sealed inside her. You know, like, I don't know if that's ever going to get talked about. And I mean, like, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they address it. but I'm not sure. Oh, I got cooldown. We'll see. How many update till the hours they have to dress? For like 30-ish, I think. Something like that. Oh, a continuation of the Baizhu question. Why is Baizhu the only known Dendro character in game right now? Well, he's not anymore because we've got Collei and we've got I have to do this right. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm pronouncing it Tainari because that's how he says it, but I've been told by many people that it's actually Tignari or Tignali. I'm not sure which one is correct. And I'm gonna get, you know, thrown under the bus for no matter how I say it. So, what are you gonna do? Woodsy Foxman. I'm gonna call him Woodsy Foxman because no one's gonna get offended by that, right? Yeah. So, Baizhu is just the only Dendro character for a long time. I think so that people knew Dendro was a thing. Honestly, I really think that's why. But as for the reason why he hasn't shown up yet on a banner or anything, I just don't think his story arc has come to pass. That's all. It does bode well for people who really like him, though. Because if you really like him, it just means that the longer they go without addressing him, the the more applicable his story becomes. I finally managed this. I finally got everything. I'm so proud of myself. Yep. Yep.
About the realm within, you may ask me.
Do I think the Sumeru sages have anything in common or are related to the Enkanomiya sages or not at all? I don't think so. Here's the thing. There's actually sages in Conria too, right? And I think in the case of Conria, sages are kind of like replacing advisors or high priests, right? But Conria doesn't really have any gods, so it's difficult to just say to call someone a priest, right? Because you kind of need a god to be a priest, in my opinion. So without that, yeah, see, I gotta. Who do we want to run around as? I guess we'll keep this one. So I think it's the same with Enkanomiya for the most part, because for a lot of Enkanomiya, they didn't actually have a god per se. I mean, they had, well, is that really a good way to put it either? Because they technically had Istarath, but I feel like her presence is so understated in Enkanomiya, you know? That, like, prior to Urabashi, it didn't really feel like they had a god that they would call, like, their god. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like to me. So I think that's why they were called sages, just to denote that they were wise men. I haven't been in here in a while, and I don't remember anything. I also have to come through here and just, like, randomly get new footage at some point. But in the case of the academia, I think the sages thing is more like, just they're just wise men. And that's really all there is to it, I think. Now, I legitimately don't know where my last 4 chests are. So I'm going to be running around here aimlessly, and if I miss something, I'm sorry. I'm only, like, half paying attention. That's my really long way of saying I don't think they're necessarily related, other than the fact that they're probably, like, the same type of thing. But I don't think they're, like, the same group of people. How's that? Give me Fremo gems. What do we know about the truth of this world, or is that just a cryptic line? Right now, I think it's just a cryptic line. I think there's a possibility that there's something about this world that's, like, just not quite right. in the sense that maybe this world shouldn't even exist. I don't think there's anything in here. Probably not. I don't really think this world should even exist, but like the reason for this world's existence is probably something that's not great. That would be my guess, but I don't know that the truth of this world is particularly, I don't know, something we can answer with certainty right now. How's that? I don't think that's possible for the time being. What's my favorite nation? Right now, it's probably Liyue, I think. There's just some really nice variety in terms of the landscape in Liyue. So this does nothing now. Okay, so there's basically nothing in this door area. It'll probably end up being Sumeru once it comes out, though, because it's already looking like it's going to be my favorite region. I live in the woods. I really like the woods. I spend hours in the woods every day. So, like, being able to go into a game and then also be in a really cool woods is pretty neat. All right, I gotta solve these again, don't I? Well, that's gonna be fun. Hang on. There's a... Nope. That's... Gotta do it on the other side. Right. I remember. I'm kind of... Okay. I think it's this one. No, it's not. It's not this one. No, not that one. I said not that one! Oh my god. This is one of those puzzles where it's like, it's not a hard puzzle, it's just annoying. Because you have to solve it over and over again. There we go. Anyway. Anywho, Jim Glick, thank you very much for your super chat, Mr. Panda or Miss Panda. What's a gender-neutral English honorific for a panda? Master Panda. I will call you Master Panda. There we go. That's gender-neutral. I like it. Thanks for the super chat. I've seen lots of people speculating that Scaramouche will be a new weekly boss in Sumeru. If that does happen, how do you think the story for that would work out with the rest of Sumeru's story? Oh boy. There's a chest down there. Look at it. I don't know how I get it. Let me think. Well, I do think that Dottore is gonna have something to do with that, because he did tell Piero that he could make him a god, right? And since Scaramouche is a god puppet, it seems to me that his first test subject in making a god would be, you know, a kind of godly reject, so to speak, right? Which is basically what he is. I don't know how to get that. Like, at all. So I think while in Sumeru, Scaramouche is going to be attempting to, man. He's going to be attempting to basically become the god he was never allowed to be. And I think that experiment will require the electronosis, which I also think will allow Dottore to kind of experiment with what a gnosis can do. This is so shallow. Like, why aren't you touching the ground? I don't understand. Before he's able to experiment on Kusanali. Because I really do think that he'll experiment on Kusanali. I think that'll be a thing, like a real thing. I'm convinced of that. I think Scaramouche is gonna just end up being like a test subject, so to speak. What do you do here? Do I have to, like, is this the one where I have to do a thing in here? Do I have to do this again? But, like, with this? This is so ridiculous! What do I do? That said, I think there's some interesting parallels between Scaramouche and Kusanali. In particular, that Scaramouche can wake from any dream, while Kusanali appears to have dominion over dreams. And I think that there may be something there in terms of like how those two interact with each other, and the fact that they may actually interact with each other. And that might be important, right? Like Scaramouche might actually have something that he needs to learn from Kusanali, which I think would be really cool. Or maybe Kusanali will use him. I don't know. I don't know, man, but I think he'll go nuts. I think he'll like the gnosis will kind of take over. How do you get this? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, wait. Why is this like this? What? What? There's a hole? This isn't even the chest I wanted. Okay, well. What? 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 What is happening? What is happening? What on... What? 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 I'm sorry. What? That? But I thought I solved the puzzle, man. Like, I'm sorry, but that was really funny. Okay. I actually have oh, there's a stone. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Now what? Okay, I see. That's a totally unintuitive puzzle. I have no hydro in my party. Okay. Oh, you just want me to swap one out. Well, that's mean. Whoa. Okay. Again? What are these puzzles even? Actually, I should have... Oh. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Oh, I see pyro. Okay. I see. I got it. I get it. Okay. I understand. I'm sorry. Hang on. I see that there are things. I didn't forget. I just. Are there more reflections? No. 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 I do not seize them. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how this puzzle works. And I am so far behind chat. Holy shit. Hang on. Junior Will, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate that very much. And Flaming Angel, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the burning of the historical library of Alexandria is related to the burning of the Irminsul tree, the tree of knowledge in the teaser? Yes and no. I think, man. Oh, this is Animo. What the? Is this one Animo too? I can barely see that. What does that say? I don't know what that says, but it's Animo. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, they're both Animo. Okay, cool. Cool. That was not what I intended to do, and this just keeps going! Mona's domain is ridiculous. So sorry. Okay. I saw the thing. Hang on. Oh my god, I'm so far behind. There we go. Right, we're good. Right, burning of the historical tree. Okay, yes, I do think that the burning of the Irminsul tree is kind of like... It might be the burning of the libraries of Alexandria, but it might also be the libraries of Baghdad. It's really hard to say. Like, really hard to say which one they're actually gonna go with. Hi. Okay. Do I put them all out? Put them all out. Okay. That did nothing. Oh, what? I can't go over there? Invisible walls! Man. So there's actually, I believe, quite a few libraries that burned. Oh, this one's reflection. This one has a reflection. It's burning. Okay. This one has a reflection and is burning. And this one has a reflection and it's burning. Okay, I did it. Yay. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of libraries around the area that burned. So I think it's a reference to all of them at the same time, probably. I don't necessarily think that they're going to reference one over another, but I could be wrong on that. It's just really hard to say from like a speculative perspective whether or not we actually have enough information to say which one it is. So, yeah. What? I hate this domain! Can I just keep doing this indefinitely? Like, will this just, like, run in a loop? Oh my god, this is not good for my serotonin. I'm going away now, bye. Reflections. Yeah, reflections. No more reflections, I'm done. I'm out of here. Screw it. I actually think that was all 4. I think I'm just looking for the conch now. Right, okay. God damn. I got so distracted. Hang on. I'm sorry. Right. Hang on. Let me catch up. I'm catching up. I'm doing the thing. I'm gonna make it walk with one hand while I look at chat with the other. Queer Bunny, welcome back to members. Just in the previous room is hidden in the ground. Wait, which previous room? It drained the water. Victory is mine. Okay, this okay, let me up. Okay, I'm good. Lucas, thanks for the super chat. I am not buying the Kusanali equals Dendro Archon. Nahida seems sus in the same vein as Paimon, Moon Sister vibes. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you, but the thing is like, Dendro as an element is so suspicious anyway, just because it's connected to the Irminsul. And the Irminsul is, like, basically the lifeblood of the entire world. So, you know, like, it would make sense to me that if you're going to have an Archon of that they're, you know, pretty important. And it's possible that she could be based on a Moon Sister. Or something kind of similar. Can I, like, there we go. Oh my god, camera, I swear. But yeah, I mean, I totally get the Moon Sister vibes. I understand that. Totally valid. I do think we'll get a lot of Moon lore. That's gonna be a thing. hopefully we can finally confirm the whole Moon Sister thing. Because, like, everything so far about the Moon Sisters has just been speculative, right? Like, it's just been speculative. Did I go in this? This is where I started. Oh, mother. And it's all like, well, this legend says this, and this legend says this. Well, is it a legend? Is it a myth? Or is it like an actual thing that happened? Who knows? It's a mystery. Okay, we're actually going this way. We're going to this one. We're going to this one. Going to this one. Going to this one. Remember, I am not using a guide. I have no idea where anything is. No, that's not right. This one. Right, sorry. Okay. I'm going. Go. Chugga, 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 choo choo. Rose, thank you for the super chat. Do I think Scaramouche might be going to Sumeru to study the Gnosis? My theory is that he's going to be bidding on the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? That would be something. That would be something. If we could, like, beat him at an auction. That would be hilarious. Hi, Star. Do you actually do anything now that I've solved the puzzle? Or do you just come out now and do the thing? I think it just comes out now and does the thing. Goodbye. Goodbye, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I don't wonder where you are. You flew above my head so high. Like the copium of Signora likers. That doesn't rhyme. But that would be interesting. I don't know what I think about the Divine Knowledge Capsule, to be honest. Like I have like a bunch of different thoughts on it, but I'm not really sure which one I favor over the other. You know? It's so weird. The whole thing is really weird. Especially since Al-Hytham is like, hey, yeah, so you can get this rock, and if you do something with it, then it gives you magic god knowledge. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I want you to find this, like, super suspicious merchant that gets all her shit from Alice. And that's even worse. Al-Hytham is so... infuriating. He goes in the same box as Kaeya for me, I think, in the sense that I have no idea what the hell is up with him. I don't understand. Legitimately do not understand. Anyway, I'm just trying to see if there's a I am just trying to see if there's a conch anywhere, that's all. Nope. Doesn't look it. Okay, back we go. But yeah, I do think Scaramouche is in Sumeru because he's trying to do something with the Gnosis, whether it's to study it or to figure out how it goes inside of his body, or if there's like a lock or a seal on it that he needs to do something with, or I don't know. Like there's something about Sumeru that'll give him the ability to do something with the Gnosis. That's about as much as I am absolutely certain of. That's about as far as my certainty goes. Okay, did we do this one? This is the thing I don't like about Mona's Domain. Because the things don't stay in place, you have no idea what door you've been through and which one you haven't. And then every time you want to do something, you have to solve a friggin' puzzle. And this is the one that messes with my head. Because it's not this one. I don't think it's that one either. Oh no, it's this one. I know what I'm doing. Wait, no, it's not this one. No, not that one. Oh wait, was it? Well, maybe it was. Yes, it was. Never mind. I lied. I lied. Is your name I don't know how to say that. Akishel? Akishel? Akizel? Akizel? I'm gonna call you Aki. Thanks for your super chat. What are my thoughts on the Dottore segments having their own agendas that will come into conflict with each other later on? I think his clones are like the most interesting aspect of Dottore. Because like, if you really think about it, like think back to a point in your life when you were like, I don't know, 6 years old, 15 years old, right? Like how differently did you think about the world back then? What is it that you did? Like your level of maturity or like your level of emotional development, all of that kind of stuff. Like you were a very different person, right? So I gotta wonder, like, if he split himself into all these different branches of himself at different points in time, it's not like he just reached a certain stage of his life and then said, I'm gonna clone myself 5 times, because then they'd all have the same level of maturity pursuing different interests, yeah? Instead, he went, no, I'm gonna take this one from when I was 15, this one from when I was 20, this one from when I was 35, etc., right? And that's gonna make them all so different in the way that they view things. Because I know that when I was a kid, I thought, you know, good and evil was very black and white. And now I do not think that. And I have a lot more fascination with, like, things that are less acceptable, I think. Because I find them so interesting, like, just the reasons why they are not acceptable. So the fact that Dottore is, I found the conch! Mine!
Humanity's curiosity toward the stars.
Yes!
Is instinct. If only I could decipher all the signs right here.
I did it! I'm done! Mine!
Humanity's curiosity.
Anyway. I feel better. Okay, we're getting out of here. Okay, I feel better now. Because I did it. That's all. That's all of them. I have 100%ed all the domains. I feel good. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. So yeah, I actually think that, you know, they very well could make Dottore playable, not through redemption or anything like that, but solely based on the fact that different parts of himself are going to have different histories, and different parts of himself are going to have different different ways of thinking. So it's possible that some versions of Dottore might not agree with how other versions function, if that makes sense. So I think the idea of using segments of him is very interesting. Because it almost becomes like... How do I say this? How many of you have played Shin Megami Tensei Persona? Because it kind of ends up a bit like that. You know? Because... essentially, you have to face yourself like over and over and over and over and over again. At least 4 or 5 times. Because like I can at least confirm that he has like 4 or 5 different clones, right? I don't know beyond that. So that's my thoughts on him. I think he's really fascinating because they did that with him. And I really, really, really hope that they keep the old mask from the comic on at least a couple of the clones. Because, like, the new mask is cool, but the old one had, like, this really interesting mad scientist flair that I just really appreciated. Because it's so goofy. I loved it. So, there's that. There's that. Dragon Madness, thanks for the super chat, man. For being a real one and come on. Don't jump on me, chat. That's mean. Oh my god. For being a real one and speculating the lore before it comes out, helping me keep my brain cells before that thing, says Sumtum. A shit in-game explaining basic information. Here's to 3.0. I believe you're referring to Paimon, but yes. Yep. Here's to 3.0. I am very excited about 3.0, you know? I know there's a lot of contention about what's going on with Sumeru in terms of representation, and we've talked about it a bit on previous streams, and I guess it was kind of when the models were leaked and not when they were official, so there was that. And I think there's a lot of conversation to be had about it. I don't feel like I'm the best person to really talk about issues of race and color, mostly because I am very white and I come from a Western nation, and I obviously have very skewed perceptions about what things should be, and then obviously I'm coming from a place of privilege in multiple ways. So I can't feel like I can talk about anything along those lines. So the only thing I can really do is look at the story and the mythology and the references and all that kind of stuff. And from what I've seen of that, I'm very hopeful and very excited, because I think so far, skin tone debates aside, they've actually done a really good job in terms of like including a lot of cultural representation and doing it well. I really do think that. So this might just be a case of, as much as I hate to say it, nobody's perfect. And I really would like to, there are certain things that I'd like to see that they're not doing, but, you know, best we can do is provide feedback, vote with your wallet, because that's usually the loudest thing you can vote for, but, you know, yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was a little bit of a side rant, but yeah, I'm actually very excited for 3.0. I am. I also say this because, like I said, I've read some of the Weapon Ascension materials and I've read the artifact lore so far, and I just know what we're in for in terms of that, and I'm pretty excited just based on that alone. So, take that as you will. Take that as you will, you know. I am really behind. Holy cow. How does this happen? Every time. Oh, Dragon Edis, you didn't have to comment again, but thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, from Witch of Flames to the True Meaning of Tebat version 1.0. Yeah. That's gonna be fun. Okay, real talk though, not in Sumeru, but I do think we'll learn a little bit more about Signora in the next few patches. I think we'll get some Signora crumbs. I do think that. I don't necessarily think that she'll be playable in the traditional sense. I think she'll end up being Dottore'd in a way. Meaning like segments, right? Segments of your life. I think that's a very strong possibility for her at this point. All these birdies. All these birdie wordies. All these little birdies. But thanks again, man. And thanks for sticking with me. I'm always surprised people stick with me through my really long-winded tinfoil hat segments. People don't usually stick with me for all that. There was this one time that I went on this really long tangent about why pigs were so important to farms. And I think I was ranting at one of my coworkers over dinner for 45 minutes about pigs. And I was so impressed that they maintained a steady face the entire time. Before you say anything, pigs are awesome and they're very important. And all farms should have a couple. Even veggie farms. Anyway, sorry. I got sidetracked. Yep. The last. Thank you for the super chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that magic does exist, but it's nowhere near as combative strong as having a vision. I don't know. Like, it's hard to say because we don't really understand the nature of visions. Like, we know that they're supposed to be representative of, you know, our our ambitions and all that. But the thing is, like, they do feel like limiters, right? Like, they're called visions, and then in other languages, they're called the eyes of God. So the whole thing feels really suspicious, you know? It feels like you're being watched by it, and that it's kind of like limiting your abilities, even though it's giving you abilities, or at least it's making you think that it's giving you abilities. It's hard to say. I'm just really suspicious of visions in general. And I am strongly of the opinion that humans can and do use magic regularly without them. They're just stuck in the mindset. Like, they're mentally limiting themselves into thinking that only vision users have access to elemental power. And I think there's one of two possibilities for me. Either visions grant people the ability to do certain things, like they grant them resistance to erosion and corruption and everything, or visions are granted to people who naturally have a higher resistance to those sorts of things, as like a selection process, right? Like, congratulations, here's your first test, right? Here's your proof of whatever. Here's the proof that you have this ability, right? I wonder if it's kind of like that. But anyway. Yes, I know it's silly to just auto-attack with Shinobu. But it's fun, and she jumps into the air and she does a little spinny thing. Can you come down here, please? I would greatly appreciate it. Hello, dude. Come back. Not having ranged characters can be painful. Anyway. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Because you gotta remember, like, Signora did not have a vision when she fought in the Cataclysm. She used the knowledge she had of liquid flames that she got from her studies in order to fight. And that's how she became the Crimson Witch of Flames. So, like, and she was really, 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 really strong. So I'm not sure that I can really compare the combative strength. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure to what effect I can do that. I want to know, though, please, for the love of God, give me some vision lore. And some Gnosis lore, please, I'm dying. Gnosis lore over vision lore, honestly. I want some Gnosis lore. That would be fantastic, honestly. Keep pedestals in center. I can keep pedestals in center? How? By the way, thank you for your super chat, Rena.
The damned will die again, then lay a
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore, huh? Because I finished the domain, so I don't need to know. But that would have been nice to know. Sometimes Genshin does really amazing things with their UI, and I think they do a really good job of making the game intuitive, and then sometimes they just, I don't know what they're doing. Baffling. I can't tell if it's like a cultural thing, or cultural as in like, depending on where you are in the world, like certain icons mean different things, and certain functions are a bit more intuitive, you know? Just because of how stuff works. So that's what I mean. I don't mean like religious culture or anything. I apparently have missed this Sealy. So that's a thing. I'm gonna get you. Okay, but the vines don't like me very much. Come and just as mine.
If it's useful, I'll take it.
For the record, I've decided that if Scaramouche becomes playable, I'm gonna try and C6 him. For providing that his constellations are good. I'm gonna try. I have 40,000 summons currently on my account, prepped. So we'll see how close I can get to a potential C6 if he does become playable. It'll be interesting. We's gonna find out. Hi, little dude. I don't like how infrequently I am critting, honestly. Hi. Why is this floating? Mystery of the floating barrel. Wow, really? Anyway. Yeah. Yep. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. Goodness gracious. Sora, thanks for the super chat. It might sound crazy, but how many chances that the Dendro Archon is actually the Irminsul itself? I mean, it would make sense for there to be a connection between them. Yeah. I think that's probably going to be the case to a degree. I kind of think of it like, if you are a tree, you can't really go anywhere, right? So if you were to want to move, or if you had to move, you'd probably adapt or create a small piece of you that could move, right? It's kind of like how in Sumeru, like the fungus have found ways of moving around and becoming, sentient. But I kind of mean more like, rather than sentient, I mean, what's the word? Mobile, and they become more animal-like. Kind of means that whatever it was that was keeping them stationary in place is no longer serving them. So I wonder if there's something similar going on with the Irminsul and the current Dendro Archon. Like, perhaps I am not happy about my crit ratio here. How come I can crit all of my normals and I can't crit my frickin'... You know what? I don't care. RNG, you giveth and you taketh. Anyway, yeah, so if the fungus need to evolve and adapt in a way that allows them to move, like through a space, then it makes sense that the Irminsul could do the same thing. I guess that's what I'm getting at. So, possible, yes. Methinks possible. What? What? Who's targeting me? There's a thingy over there. We're gonna do the thingy. Okay. I am so curious about the fungal things. Like, holy shit. I want fungus lore, like you wouldn't believe. I require lore involving le fungus. Hey, gimme. Now we get to see my really terrible archery skills. Mwah! I love how I'm sitting here, like, actually debating pulling Tainari, or Tignali. Tignali? Oh, that's gonna take some getting used to. Who's a charge shot archer when I am horrendous with charge shots. It's bad. It's bad. Teacup in space. Thank you very much for the super chat. And to you as well, Franklin Cabrol. Cup of tea. Thank you. I appreciate you both. You are good people. And Christian, welcome to the Scholars. And Break Fate's Chain, thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks for what you're doing. Without your videos, I probably would have lost interest in Genshin. Are there any Sumeru characters you plan to pull for? Plan is a strong word. I missed. How do you miss an albedo? That's funny. Let me think. Well, first off, I don't know if I did you a favor by keeping you in a gacha game. That seems like I tricked you into spending money or staying in a toxic relationship. So if that's how it turns out, I am sorry. It was not my intent. Let's see. In terms of characters I want to pull for. So it's funny as you say you'll skip till Scar and then you find yourself pulling. Yeah, listen. It's not always the case. Okay, listen, I really love Tignari. Tignali? I'm gonna assume I'm saying that right until someone else corrects me again. I'm gonna assume that at some point I will just get him on standard. Reason being is that if I do in fact decide to C6 Scaramouche, should he become playable, because that is a massive caveat, then you know, like, I'm gonna probably get a few pity breakers, and so I have a decent shot at getting a copy, so I should probably just skip him, and I think I probably will, because I think Dendro, MC, and Collei will be probably fine. I don't really want Nilou, because I think any role that she can fill, I already have a character for, and while she's cool, and I wouldn't mind having her if, you know, I happen to get her, I don't need her. You know, she's not like, I must have this unit now. You know, she's not that, so I'll probably skip her. Sino is one that I think I'll have a really hard time skipping, though. But I don't know that I need an Electro DPS. So, and I can't imagine what else he would be. You know? Maybe he'll be another Electro support. I don't know if I need one of those either. And the other thing is I'm worried that his whole shtick with telling really bad jokes and making clever references and puns and stuff is going to be completely lost in translation, because it's already kind of getting lost in translation. They're already not translating his puns, and they're just like putting the pun bit in quotation so that we know it was supposed to be a pun, but it's not actually a pun in English, and I'm just kind of like, And I feel like that might make me enjoy him less. So I don't know if I'll pull him, but I think if I'm gonna get tempted by anyone, it's gonna be him. Twignari, there you go. That's the way out of the pronunciation hell. I'll just give him a nickname. Twignari, I like it. It's good. It's good. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll pull for Kusanali either. But I mean, like, that's probably pretty kit dependent. You know, that's probably pretty kit dependent. I'm also like, I think she'll be really cool. But will she be at the level of cool where I absolutely must pull her for my account? Because, like, I also do really... Currently, I want Alhaitham, but he might be someone I end up not wanting if he ends up not being really cool. But that's a lot of Dendro units. Do I need that many Dendro units? I don't know. Anyway. That's where I'm at. Oh, I will say, I don't know if her name is pronounced Candace or Kendake right now. Because of the spelling that they chose. But she looks interesting and she's a 4-star, so I might throw a few summons just to see if I can grab a copy of her. But nothing like, I'm gonna pull for this 4-star and I'm not stopping till I get it. I'm not gonna do a Shinobu on her. But she'd be nice to have, I think. But I have no interest in Dory. We're getting Collei for free. And to be clear, I don't have any interest in Dory because A, I have Shinobu, and B, Dory doesn't appeal to me at all. And I also I'm not a big fan of her kit. She doesn't look that broken, but she looks like she takes field time that I don't want to give her. And she's just another unit that's got her healing locked to her burst, and I don't want to. Maybe she'll be able to use the bell. That would be cool. Well, we say that for every new Claymore user. One day we will be correct. One day we will be correct.
Coming to be.
Smack! I smacks you in the face. Off you go, off you go. I wonder what civilization you're from. Anyway, sorry, I got really sidetracked. I think that's everybody we've seen so far. Oh, I guess if and when they decide to put Baiju on a banner, I may or may not pull for him. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I am also still very far behind because chat is always a million miles ahead of me. Because that's the way it goes. Scrolling back through it, it's like, wait, how much? 40,000? Yeah, I have 40,000 summons. No, sorry, not 40,000 summons. 40,000 Primo Gems worth of summons. Yeah. I do mean Primos. I didn't mean to be like 40,000. Do you know how much money 40,000 summons would be? That's crazy. That is not a smart investment. Do not do that. Please. Please think of your finances. I don't think I have any more chests on Shinyan's Island that I haven't gotten, but I could be wrong. Anywho. Sorry, that was funny. Sora. Wait, oh, thanks for the super chat. I got started. Maybe not every player familiar with this name, but I think Istarath has a deal with Vision Origins. As we all know that after the first appearance of the Vision so far is after the Cataclysm. No, I think the first appearance of Visions actually is about 2,000 years old. Because I think, and I could be wrong, but I can't really check Ganyu's lore in game because I do not have a Ganyu. But I'm pretty sure that her vision story gives us a rough estimate of what point in her life she got the vision. And it would have been long before the Cataclysm, because Ganyu is like well over 2,000 years old. That was a completely unnecessary suplex. It could still totally have something to do with Istarath, though, because the Cataclysm isn't something unique to her. Like, her ties to the Cataclysm is not unique to her. And Enkanomiya wasn't even something that happened during the Cataclysm. It was something that happened, as far as anyone can tell, quite a while before the Cataclysm. So, it's still a possibility. Hello, my dudes. Doody do dum. I'm just gonna run around until they die. Yay! Playing Shinobu in co-op is really fun because you actually just like run around and like hug people. And every time you hug them, you heal them. It's just fun. My cousin just started playing the game, and I've been showing her some things. But yeah. The Guh and Twiggy Boy is pronounced like the French R. That does not help me. I am American. My names may be French, but my French heritage is very far removed from me. Very far removed from me. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm American. Hey, I'm caught up. Cool. Basically, the GH sound is like gargling without water. What a way to describe something. Gargling without water. I don't want to try to do that. I'll probably end up coughing. I really don't think I have anything else on this island to get. I don't know that I have anything else on many of these islands to get. I think we've done all of Kazua's. We've done this one. I guess we can go back to Teva, but we're not going to come back here for like a long time. Bilingual Canadian coming in clutch. Yeah. Can be helpful. My only secondary language is Japanese, which I took in place of French and Spanish and all the other alternatives in high school because why not?
Can't catch me.
And I will say that my vocabulary is atrocious, but I can read and write, which may or may not be the important part. So, yeah. I'm ignoring that. Where is our American Genshin characters? I don't think we won any of those.
Can't catch me.
Unless we're talking Indigenous Americans. Because they deserve representation. The rest of us don't need it. The rest of us... I mean, what do you want to do? Put McDonald's in here? Even kanji? Yeah, I can do kanji. Like I said, my vocabulary is pretty atrocious though. So like, I need a dictionary most of the time. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I want to dance. What a happy dance. Ooh, she gonna dance with you. Look at the funky boy. That is not how you dance together. Dance nicely. This guy is not a good dancing partner. McDonald's is the Fatui front. I mean, yeah. It could happen. These are mine. I don't think I've seen this. So a dude just left me 4 apples. Well, that was kind of him. Okay. The Fatui are strange people. But you know what? They're kind of alright. Anyway, maybe we'll just sail around the water. Let's just sail around. Let's go in the boat. I'm going in the boat. Whee! I am Akodomeki. Yeah. I am the only pirate captain of the sea. Me and Koseki Maru gonna sail the ocean blue. Oh, I didn't do this one. Nice. Handy. Wait, what? There's a chest behind the bush? Did I miss it? Oh, we'll go back. We'll go back. Do I think we'll see Lisa in 3.0? We didn't see her in the trailers. I don't know. I don't know that we'll see her in 3.0. We might. I wonder if she'll be like part of the prequest. By that I mean, like if we're trying to figure out how to get to Sumeru, like maybe we have to talk to Lisa and Lisa will tell us some things. But that might be the extent of how much she's involved for 3.0. I don't have high hopes until later patches, honestly. But the fact that they did mention Lisa in the live stream, and the fact that
I'm on a roll.
they talking about roses and she's like the witch of the purple rose and everything, like I do think she'll make an appearance. I just don't think she'll be the one to kind of like guide us there, if that makes sense. I don't know where this chest is of which you speak. Do I really think that Kusanali is a little white bird? Just like Morax is a dragon. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I mean, well, that's not true. She actually might be. I'll tell you why. But in just a second. Rex, thank you very much for your super chat. If Vision broke, would Celestia reissue a new one? I don't think so. The reason is because I don't think they can actually break. Case in point is actually if you look at like Kaching and Sucrose's Vision stories, they talk about trying to destroy or experiment with their visions. Kaching tried to like smash hers, and I think Sucrose boiled it for like a really long time. And they didn't manage to even so much as scratch them. So I don't know that visions can be damaged by normal means. So it's hard to say if they'd ever reissue one because where does these sky crabs come from? I don't think they'd ever reissue them because I don't think they'd ever break. You know? Yeah. But thank you. I still don't see this chest, and I think you're lying to my face! Dirty liar mouth! Gonna fill you up with some soap. Soap is just oil, though, so you'd just be filling someone up with oil. Which feels really weird to say. Hi. Ooh, she wants to roll. Oh my god. Wooden Hilichurls versus, like... Geo Team is the least amount of fun ever.
Feel this ancient power.
It's so annoying. Wait. Yeah, see, what? I don't know what chest in the bush. Chest behind what bush? What are you talking about? Do I like the boat lore? Yes, I do. I don't know how many people have actually done that quest, but you've got like 24 hours to do the quest. If you haven't done the meatball quest, do the meatball quest. What's wrong with you? Do the meatball quest. Otherwise, every time you log in, Paimon's gonna go, didn't Meetabaru say to meet him? I'm gonna have to go meet him. What bush are you talking about? There's no bushes! None of them have chests! This is such a lie! I'm gonna run around this island until I find the chest, though. Like, if you're actually lying to me, I hope you're happy, because I will legitimately run through every bush on this island until we find something. Out of spite more than anything at this point. What bush? What bush? I don't understand. Do I believe the old slimes equal Archons theory without waking up the old Dendro Archon from the dead by burning this big Sumeru tree? Yes and no. I think there's a lot of merit to the slime theory, honestly, but I don't necessarily think that the slimes are the Archons specifically. I just think that the slimes might have the same source as the Archons, right? And because they have the same source, they therefore have like reflective of the same powers. I've been thinking about the hypostases and how they relate to the slimes and such too. I'm not quite ready to share my thoughts on it because I can't quite articulate what's inside of my skull. The big pink thing won't cooperate. Yeah, that's what she said. I am a she, and that is what I said. That's funny. It's funny to me. That's a terrible joke. I am not sorry. Just think of this as my practice for when Sino appears, because I think all of his jokes will be lost in translation. I'm gonna have to make up the difference. I'm gonna have to make a million really horrendous jokes, and I'm very good at making terrible jokes. I still think the bush thing is a lie. Oh, true. Lisa might write us a letter of introduction to her master. That is something that could definitely happen. Yours truly, Day Day. Where in Tivat did they get Kusanali? I don't know. That's a good question. I legitimately have no idea. I do wonder though, because like Ruka, she died during the Cataclysm, but we don't know if she died in Conria, right? So I don't know. I think about this a lot. Like, did she die in Conria, or did she die like defending her nation from the invasion of Conria? That's what I don't know. And yeah. But I think it would be interesting if, you know, wherever it was that she died was where they found her. Wherever that happened to be. I see a chest over there. And we're not going to go get that chest until someone proves the bush theory, right or wrong. Hi. Ushi wants to play! Good boy, Ushi. My dog is looking at me like, I'm a good boy too, right? Yes, yes, City, you are. He's a very good boy. Lizzie, thanks for coming and joining the scholars. I may or may not see you on Discord. That is your choice. Your call. Your call. Totally your call.
Don't underestimate the beetle. They can be some of the toughest little guys around. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, listen.
Sweat and tears, that's what. That's how it gets strong.
This is so off topic. Hang on.
I think we can all learn something from
You guys know how Ito is always talking about his beetle fights? And he's like, don't underestimate the beetle. And then we've got Shinobu, and she's literally got like a beetle hood, the beetle horn hood. And so now the only thing I can think of anytime Ito says that line is like he's talking about Shinobu when he says it. So he's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do anything you put your mind to. And she's just like... Anyway. Mental images are fun. Please get the chest behind the bush between the rocks. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Stand with me.
I'm just gonna wipe out this whole island. This whole population is gonna get decimated. Hi. Bush between what rocks? This one? Unlimited spade works. Welcome to the scholars. Bush chest southwest near Hilichurls between cliffs. South. West. There are no more Hilichurls. I don't see a chest. Am I blind? Am I blind? I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not southwest anywhere. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't see a chest. Maybe I'm blind. I might be blind. I might be blind. Southwest. I would be terrible on a scavenger hunt. Dum dum dum. You mean down in here? Oh! Yay! We're free! We can leave the island now! I would have never found that. Someone's gonna pass out now like, yes, thank God, finally! Okay, listen, that might have taken me way too long, but you have to understand, I'm only half looking at the screen. I am legitimately only halfway looking at the screen, because I have to look at another screen in order to see chat. And read it, and then I have to read, and if I'm reading, I'm not paying attention to what's going on stream. So, like, it has half of my eyes. It has one eye. Yeah, I mean, I like chest hunting when I have literally nothing else to do and I just want to like kill an hour in the evening, you know? That's like the best time. Whoops. Stuck. I'm stuck. Meatball. Go. Okay. Every ship is a meatball now. Super meatball in the soup. The sea soup. Salty soup. Salty sea soup. Why did she call him meatball anyway? I still don't understand that. There's got to be some reason why she called him a meatball. Has to be. Are Kosekimaru and Seiraimaru related? Possibly. I think what it is though is that Seiraimaru and Kosekimaru were likely just part of the same fleet, right? So Seiraimaru would have been the ship that Akudameki sailed, but
Our bond is strong.
Kosekimaru might have just been part of his whole fleet. So not the one that the pirate captain would sail on, but
I'm on a roll.
you know. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why I keep calling him Meatball, it's because Mitoboru is literally like meatball. Literally means meat. Well, I actually don't know how they wrote it in the characters. I'm just looking at like the Romanized version of it, and yeah. What is my Ito build? You want to see my pride and joy Ito? This is my Ito. He's a good boy. He has a red horn. And 4 husk. Num, 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 num. Yep. That's my Ito. Oh, one other thing. I have to do this now. He is triple crowned. And I got these constellations on accident. So I have to share those because that's my caveat now, because he's now my highest merged unit, I think. Well, besides 4 stars. I don't count my 4 stars. About my 5 stars, I think he's my highest merged unit. Yeah, I think he is. What's my Shao build? It wasn't even whale noises. Like, you guys don't understand. I have it on. I have the footage recorded. The guy, I have the summons. Actually, I can show you my summon history. I was going for Shinobu. I only spent 20,000 Primo Gems. And I got 3 Itos in 20,000 Primo Gems. And I can prove that. Anyway, this is my current Shao. I have him on a new build right now because I finally got a crit damage hat that wasn't horrendous on set. I saved 20,000 because I really wanted Shinobu, and then I spent all of them, and I got 3 copies. For the record, to get 1 copy, if you miss a 50-50, you would need 24,000 if you go to Pity twice, right? So to get 3 Itos in 20,000 is a lot. I got 3 Itos and a Diluc. So I won all those 50-50s. And that's not whale. I am a BP Welkin player. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is my current build for Xiao. It's not the best because Vermilion frickin' hates me. I have C1 and he is also triple crowned. Anyway, yeah. I legitimately just got really lucky on that stream. And you know what? I could show you my wish history, but I still don't think any of you will believe me. I do have to caveat one thing. I think there might be something underneath here. What did you bait? Man, that's sad. Well, now I'm just sad. Okay, so I was fully expecting the shop to reset for the next anniversary, okay? So I did, during Ito's banner, I did buy out the current shop. But I have not spent any of those Genesis crystals. And that's part of where my funds for potential Scaramouche C6ing is coming in. Because I don't think I'm going to get that free to play. Not that I'm free to play anyway. I'm technically a BP Welkin, and this is the first time I've actually bought crystal packs, but no one will believe me if I say that anyway, so it's not like it matters. But I will show you my wish history in a minute. And you can see. You can see. Yeah, no, I bought out one of everything. And the thing is like, part of the reason why I did it is because I have a game budget per month of how much I'm willing to spend on games in general. What, Ito, what are you doing? And I'm not talking about like gacha games. I'm talking about buying brand new games or buying game equipment, like new controllers or anything like that. Like all of it is in one budget. And just because there haven't been that many releases this year, I've not spent any of the budget. So I was looking at it like, you know what? I'm not actually going to spend any of my gaming budget this year at this rate. So I may as well just buy out the shop because they're probably going to reset it. So this is the best value for gems I can possibly get if I do buy things. So that's why I did it. Haven't spent any of it though. Hello, my dudes. Ouchies. Hi, dude. I hate these wooden shields. Mine. Anyway, that's my caveat. So let's see. Yeah, so this was my very first D-Luke right back here. You will see this was in July. And then if I go back, I still got him pretty early. I got so many Goros. I got as many Shinobus as I got Itos, which was ridiculous. So there's Shinobu. I got 2 Shinobus. Okay, here's Ito 1-ish, right? 1, 2. Here's 8. 1 more. And there he is again. And then I think this one took me to pity, but I got him twice, like within 16 and then within 30-ish, I think. Yeah, there he is again. So how many is that? That's 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 36, 39. Okay, we're at 45. Yep. Okay. I still got in pretty early, but not that early. And then this one's like 16 away. So that's 1, 7, 11. Yeah. That is okay. Listen, if you think spending $200 once on a game is whaling, I have so much news for you. That's not how whaling works. Because like these primos right up in the upper right hand corner, those are free to play. I have not converted any Genesis crystals. So the Genesis crystals I do have right now are basically straight from the shop and then a couple from Welkin. So, but yeah, like I said, this was me using up my game budget from this year. And also I did this on my birthday. So it's not, it's dolphin behavior. But you know what? I don't think it's bad to spend on a game that you spend a lot of time enjoying. Especially, well, because like I also do make money off this game, so I can justify it. But I don't think it's a bad idea to spend money on a game so long as it's not an impulsive buy, right? And so long as you're in a good financially stable position in order to do so. And I am both of those, so it's fine. Like I'm literally planning for something that may or may not ever happen. So there's that. Oh, my birthday was weeks ago, but thank you. How dare I convert one Genesis crystal? I haven't yet. I have not. Is Welkin worth it even if you don't play every day? My whole thing with the Welkin is that if you don't play every day, but you still want to get like the Welkin stuff, I still think it's worth just logging in to grab the Welkin for like 5 seconds and then logging back out. Like even if you don't do your commissions or anything else, just like treat it as if you're hopping onto YouTube to check your subscription box or whatever. I would definitely do that. Yes, Rogo, it was my birthday. It's okay though. I spent most of it sleeping. I was exhausted because it happened like right after I ended up making like 3 40-minute videos in a row, and I was like just so done. I was completely depleted out of any and all energy. So I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, true. When was the last time I ever wished you a happy birthday? That's true. It's been a long ass time. How many years? Like maybe 5? Yeah. Will I stream at my birthday? Oh, I don't have a I don't have a time machine, so that'd be hard. Yeah, we were. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I am another year older. Another trip around the sun. Thanks, Amalia. Have a good evening. Am I pulling for Zhongli, Kokomi, or Ganyu? Nope, I'm probably not. I think if I pull for anybody, I'm probably gonna throw like maybe 20 summons worth at Kendake or Candace. I'm not sure what they're gonna go with. And then I may use my guaranteed on Sino. But we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll see. Other than that, I think I'm basically in saving mode for the foreseeable future. Oh, I've done this one. Sadness. Sadness consumes my soul. I wish they'd make the jellyfish go away if you did them already. It feels weird that they don't do that. It's my zodiac sign. I am a Leo. And what character do I hate most in Genshin? It's probably going to end up being Dory. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not like her execution at all. I kind of just want to watch this guy vaporize himself there. Yeah. Give me those. Free ley line branches. All right. Cool. Yeah, no, Dory just does not appeal to me at all. I think beyond Dory, least favorite character is probably Child. But most of that's because Child reminds me of people that I really don't like because I had really bad experiences with them, and he's just so on the nose accurate to them that I just can't handle him. So I don't like him, but he's a good character, don't get me wrong. It's just like I have bad associations with the type of person that he is, and it's kind of hard to disassociate the associations with that. So why don't I like Dory? Oh my god. Where to begin? Where to begin? Child does remind me of my ex. That's my thing. Actually, he reminds me of two. That's why. I don't, you know what? I'm not even gonna explain why I don't like Dory until we meet her, because that opinion could change. But from what I've seen of her so far, nothing about her appeals to me. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, same with you with Kaeya. He just reminds you of people that you don't have good memories with. And that's totally fair. Like, I feel like when it comes to tropes or idle games or anything, like, we all have that kind of stuff, right? And that's what makes characters appeal to you, too. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But yeah. What do I think of Dottore? I think he's very fascinating. I don't know where they're going to go with him, but I think wherever they go with him, I want them to make him a really compelling villain. I want them to make him a villain that you love to hate. That's what I want from Dottore. They better do that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think I'm done here for now, because I don't think I have anything else to do. I've gone around this map a few times. Would I pull for playable Pulcinella? I don't know. It depends. I've already gotten all my... That's another problem. I have already gotten, I think, most of the artifacts already. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I have not done my tenacity run. I am farming for a really particular piece that I probably won't get before Sumeru drops. But I'm gonna try anyway. I look away from chat for like 1 minute and now suddenly everyone's simping for all the different Harbingers. I love it. I guess I could have not bursted there. That probably would have been a better idea. There was no point in bursting. I don't know why I bothered. Anyway. Yeah, say what you will about Hoyoverse, but their character marketing, I think, is really on point. For sure. Absolutely. I need to set up like a really good whatchamacallit, crystal fly farming route. I don't have a good one. And I like to farm them every now and again, if only because I just like having them on hand. I missed that one. Oh well. Yeah, I don't really want to fight you guys, but I will. Burst forth. Unlimited Spade works. I've mentioned that I think Minogius is the captain, but wasn't he murdered by the Hydro Yaksha? I mean, yeah. But since when has death been a problem? If people still think that Signora can be playable, then I totally think the Geo Yaksha can come back.
Advance. Let's roll.
What are my thoughts on the Arlecchino's eyes if Conria Primo gem-shaped pupils are so rare? Well, I don't think it's necessarily that. The Conria pupil shapes are kind of unique in that... How do I put this? Ito, please target the rocks. What are... Oh. I see. I was having some technical difficulties. Capitano isn't associated with the Bloodstained Knight so much because he basically pledged himself to the Abyss. And at this point in time, I'm not sure if the Abyss can be equated to the Harbingers, right? That's all it is, for me, anyway. I know a lot of people who think Capitano is a Bloodstained Knight. Actually, there is one thing I do want to do. I'm going to change my team for this. I do not think Teyvat is Eponia's domain from Honkai. I think people give Eponia way too much credit. Way too much credit. Wait, no, this is not the team I wanted. I wanted...
Be sure to make a proper appointment.
Melee Fae.
Do this time.
Where's my Beto? I lost him. There he is.
Some in the field.
Wait. Yeah, I do think Griseo makes a lot more sense than Eponia than for a Honkai character connection. Completely. Verdict, do you think the Albrecht clan or perhaps the Conrian sages are still around? And if so, any theories on potential plans? Yes, and that's a future video I am not going to spoil because I had a big brain moment. I had a really big brain moment. And I might end up doing this thing where I combine two theories that I say I'm not going to combine and then end up doing anyway. Yanfei, what the hell is happening? I guess I live here now. Yeah, yeah, it's all coming together. Except I had a brain explosion while it happened. That was fun. And you know what triggered it, though? The thing that actually triggered it was bad automated subtitle captioning on a video. Like, you know how the automatic subtitles sometimes do, like, really ridiculous things? I was reading the subtitles on a video. So in a place with no audio and I didn't have headphones. And I noticed a really odd connection. I was like, wait a second. Because it was the computer misinterpreting what was trying to be said, but in its misinterpretation, it jostled my brain. So there's that. Am I pulling for anyone in the next few updates? Nope. Probably not. I might pull for Sinal, we'll see. I've said that a few times at this point, but we'll see. I hate farming these things. And I hope they become less irritating in the next patch. I honestly hate these things more than specters. And not because they do damage or anything, just because they're like, they bounce around. It's so annoying. Games with Shao. Why do you think Scar didn't go back to the cryo place? Just Ashnaya? Probably because he... So, Child tells us that all Harbingers basically have their own motivations for doing what they do. And I think Scaramouche just had his moment where he was like, this is my reason. I have achieved my goal. And the Fatui are no longer useful to me. I really think that that's all it is. Because he's not particularly attached to them. Ouchies. I don't like being frozen. Mean. Stamp of approval. Do you think we'll talk to the Abyss sibling in Sumeru's arc? Yes, I do. But probably not for a few patches. Probably not for a few patches. Mostly because I don't think... Like, most of our interactions with the sibling come during Dainsleif's arc, right? And he always has his arc, like, at the very end of whatever the current, Archon quest is. So, I think we have to get through the Archon quest first. Before we can see Dane again. And I think, we won't see Dane or our sibling until after that, so... Well, I think our sibling and Dane are kind of like a package deal. That's not a ship thing. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think you get lore for one without the other for the most part. Like, I don't think we'll be able to see our sibling without Dainsleif somehow being involved. You have a theory that Dottore is Dendro? You saw it in your dreams? Yo, I had, like, a crazy lucid dream to tell you, like, how overworked I was last week. I had a dream that, Tignali friggin' told me that Sumeru was coming out that day, and this was, like, a week ago. And I woke up so excited, because I'm like, oh, yeah, today's Sumeru day! And then that didn't happen. I was very upset. I don't know why I burst. That was silly. I could probably do more crowd control with Kazuha if I really wanted to, but I said overworked, not sleep deprived. I was just like, there's just been so much going on that my brain was a little overloaded, that's all. It happens. The Twiggy boy got me, it's true. He got me. He got me good. Why aren't there any NPCs so far from the Pyro region? I don't quite understand the questions, but if you're wondering why we don't have any Natlan NPCs, I have no idea. All I can think of is that the nation is just closed. And that no one travels. I mean, when you really think about it, when you really think about it, like, what happened to Vanessa's tribe? They were just wandering around and they were basically persecuted wherever they went. So maybe it's a case of, you know, the Maraudans are just chronically persecuted wherever they go, so they just don't go anywhere. Who knows? Do I think Bennett is from Natlan? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing to suggest that he is, but there's also nothing to suggest that he isn't. So he's kind of like in that weird spot. Yes, even more closed than Inazuma from 1.0. Like, okay, maybe not more closed. Maybe that's not quite the right thing. The thing with Inazuma is that people wanted to leave, but couldn't. The thing with Natlan, I think, is that people don't want to leave, even though they can.
Can't catch me.
The only evidence that we have that Bennett could possibly be from Natlan is the fact that he looks a bit like Janssen.
Who wants some of this?
I need to stop Ushing before I burst. Sherpa. Maybe the thing with Natlan is also like a physical barrier rather than a political barrier. Like maybe the desert is just too difficult for anyone to leave. That's possible too, for sure. Shortest domain clear? Oh, I don't time myself. I don't care enough, honestly.
Burst forth. Witness my great undertaking.
Stand with me.
Oh, coming through. Attaboy.
Like, I'm sure there's better ways to clear domains, I just don't wanna. Like, I could probably group these guys better and shave off several seconds, but I also just I can't be bothered. Is this gameplay on a PS4 with an Xbox controller? No, this gameplay is on a PC with a generic controller. Do I think Liney and Lynette are separate characters or Genshin's first 2-in-1 character? I'm inclined to say they're a 2-in-1. Oh, I swear to God. I think they'll almost be like a stance shift, you know what I mean?
Charge! Everyone on me! Moment of birth.
Lightning terrified. Our bond is
Who wants some of this?
Do 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 bum 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 bum. Ito, you're letting me down there, buddy, with your aiming.
Let's roll.
I don't appreciate it. I know these guys also have geo resistance. I'm just lazy. Ito is my laziest team. Yeah, tap to switch, hold to activate different skills. That's a good way to put it. I am never going to get this piece. That's all right. I don't need an elemental mastery headpiece, but I also don't need anything else from any domain except the viridescent domain, and I don't want to farm it since it's coming to the strongbox. So I did not need to do that. See, I keep doing that. It's just silly. Because see, I could have cleared this very fast if I had just done the smart thing and not Ushi'd first. It's okay, Shinobu will spook you. I'm looking for an elemental mastery tenacity goblet or hat. Okay, that's a nice piece, I admit. The thing is I don't really need it. I just want the option to use it, and I just don't have anything else to spend my resin on before the patch drops. So I've just been farming this. Reason being is my current Shinobu build looks a bit like this. And she's got 697 elemental mastery. So, but like she's running an HP helmet. I just have a lot of EM on it. Everything else I'm good with. Have I done the weekly bosses? No, but I also don't have resin. I'm waiting for the battle pass to reset for the bosses. I guess they still count though. One thing I haven't done is do I have books for Dendro Traveler Talent? I believe that they should be Sumeru books though. I don't think we can farm those yet. I did not do these yet. These will carry over for Battle Pass, so I don't mind doing them now. We'll do them now. That we can do. Whoops. Oh my god. I played way too much Xenoblade, and that button is the map button, and that was not what I meant to do. That's alright. We will go here. Alrighty. Normal attack talent uses the ones from the Forsaken Rift and Mondstadt. Yeah, but why would you level the normal attack? Are you going to be normal attacking with Dendro Traveler? That seems odd. I did like this year's Golden Apple Archipelago, actually. I've learned recently that I am not of the, you know, apparent same opinion as everyone else. But, you know, I got smacked around. Gobsmacked! Whoops, wrong one. I wanted to do this. Num num. Num 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 num. Not an elegant clear by any means, but whatever. That's the thing. I feel like... Alright, I'm gonna rant for a second after this super chat that just popped up. Thank you very much, Alana. Hello, I just wanted to ask, why do you love Kaeya so much? I mean, I know why I love him, but what are your reasons? Alright, so I'll give you the super short version of the story. Essentially, I started this game, I wanted to play it because of Xiao. Because he reminded me of another character that I really, really like from another game. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna save until his banner comes out. Because he was in the beta, and I knew that. And so I was like, okay, he'll, you know, be out eventually. No, not Felix. Soren, actually. But Felix is a really good guess because Felix is also very, very much like Soren, and I also very much like him. But yeah. So the thing is I hadn't decided if I wanted to spend any money on the game, so I was completely free to play. And I saved up, like, so many Primo gems. I am not paying attention. Not paying attention at all. Things like that will get you killed. Not that it matters. No. I need to recalibrate this team. Oh, right. I was telling a story. I forgot. Right. So I was saving up all these Primos for him, but that also meant I couldn't pull it all, right? Because I needed all of the Primo gems to get Xiao. Because I had no idea when he was gonna show up. No one did, because leaks were not a thing. Or at least they weren't in my scope yet. So that meant I spent a lot of time with the starter cast, like a lot of time. And Kaeya, in my opinion, is the best out of all of them in terms of utility, in terms of early game damage, like just in general. I think he's one of the better starter characters, just period. So I got really attached to him. And then you kind of, after time, you find out that he's lore relevant, among other things. Oh dear. And that just made him really cool. To me, I don't know. I just grew really attached to him over time. Because of really stupid reasons. Like, I was waiting for Xiao. And I ended up with Kaeya, so I ended up just getting to know him, and I really liked him, so... Yeah. There's that, I guess. What do I think of Dory's? I don't like Dory's design. I think I've said that. Right, I wanted to rant about Golden Apple, actually, a little bit, if you guys don't mind. What else was I doing? I was also going to do a thing. I was going to do this thing. I have not played this team in ages. Ugh, I hate going to this island. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Golden Apple Archipelago. I also want this, please and thank you. Mine. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this year's Golden Apple Archipelago. Last year's Golden Apple was also really good, but a lot of it came from the novelty because there really, when you stop to think about it, there wasn't a whole lot of variety in last year's. We were basically able to play Kaboom Ball, and there were the single type of puzzles across every single island. But like most of the fondness people have is that the fact that like all those islands were just being seen for the very first time, right? No one had ever seen them before, so they had so much novelty attached to them. And then obviously we got Alice lore, and people are really attached to that too. Is it this guy? It's this guy today. So that was year one, and we were just like exploring the map, and I think people just really loved that because we hadn't had anything like that in a while, like since Dragonspine. And then we got to this year, and I was like, okay, they can't just give us the same islands again. That would be stupid. But they did give us the same islands again, but they remixed them in a really, really clever way. But even so, even with the remixing, it still felt like the novelty was gone, you know? I think people were just like, oh, we've already seen these islands. I already know where they all are. I don't have to find anything, all that, right? And so it felt a little bit more like work because the novelty was gone. But I really loved all of the mirages. I thought the puzzles were good. I thought the lore was good. I know people have mixed feelings on Xinyan, but like, come on, guys. Let the girl have something. Not like anyone really uses her, and that's really unfortunate because she's a really cool character who just has a really unfortunate lack of niche. But I think what bothered me the most about people's response to the Archipelago of this year compared to last year and saying, oh, last year's was better, is that last year's objectively was not better. It was just new. And so people have fonder memories of it. And this one was remixed, and it was remixed really, 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 really well. And it was, in my opinion, just better because of it. It had more to do. There was more variation, right? But I don't think people really appreciated that. I think people have been... Oh, that's the wrong thing. No, it's not. Oh, wait, I'm out of the... I've already done all those. Oh, we're just doing bounties. Okay, right. I was not paying attention. What else is new? Oh, I hate this one.
Let's take shelter for the time being. Don't worry. One of my people will be here with umbrellas momentarily.
How do I put this? There's so much complaining in the vocal community. I want to be very particular about saying that it's the vocal community. There's so much complaining about there not being any content, like, at all, ever, all the time. And then we get these events, you know, where there is content, and then suddenly there's too much to do. It feels like a chore. I'm not doing that, right? And I fundamentally have a really hard time understanding the mindset there, you know? Like, I just can't follow the whole... Like, what do you want then? If you think finding chests isn't rewarding, then what is it that you want? Do you want to not find chests? Oh, I just realized he's immune to hydro. I didn't even check the thing. Well, no wonder this is taking so long. Okay, change of plans. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. But you know, like everyone's just saying, I'm not finishing that. I'm not doing Mona's domain. What do you mean I have to go back in there and go look for things? What's that? That's ridiculous. That's too much. And then they have the additional complaint of, oh, you know, Kazuha's story should be permanent. And it's like, I don't disagree, but I also get why it's not. And it just feels like... It just feels like no matter what Genshin does, it's never going to be enough. There's either not going to be any content or there's going to be way too much content. It's going to feel like a chore. And no one's ever going to be satisfied with it. And I get really frustrated with that more than anything else. Like you saw me today, you know, with the Mona puzzles, right? Like even I found them kind of aggravating on some level. But I really appreciate the fact that, you know, they're there. And that I have the choice to do the puzzles and I have the choice to not do the puzzles. And this is going to be a hot take. One of the things I've heard about why people like Tower of Fantasy, and this is not a dig against the game at all, I just want to say this, is that the chests respawn, okay? And this is the part where I get really confused about what people's issue is with the Golden Apple Archipelago, right? Because chests obviously do not respawn in Genshin. So when you get a location like the Archipelago, and you get this opportunity to do all these new chests, and then you're like, well, I don't want to do it because it feels like work. I don't understand what it is that people are looking for. Because I don't like the idea of having to go through Liyue and refarm all of the chests that were there. I do not. There's no scenario in which I would find that fun. I think that's tedious because Liyue is huge. Mondstadt is huge. It took me so long to 100% Mondstadt because there was like one chest I was missing. And it was in the most ridiculous place, right? And I don't want to go through all that again. It feels like work. How is that different from artifact farming? Like doing the artifact routes, I mean, right? And then you have the archipelago and like these temporary regions or whatever that we get, like these maps. And there's lots of chests to find. But then people are just like, well, it's work. Well, then you really didn't want to find chests, did you? I go in circles and it's frustrating. And I get that, like, some of the puzzles aren't intuitive, but I also know where the game started, and I know where it's at now. And it is so much better now than it's ever been. And it just keeps getting better. They get better at puzzles. Like, something we have to remember is that their other games are fighting games. They're combat games. They're button mashers, for the most part, right? They're not puzzle games. They're not strategy games. This is all stuff that's very new to this company. And it's something that a company learns how to do over time. And it doesn't, at some point, it doesn't even matter like how much money you have, because sometimes you just can't buy the experience, you know? Because you have to buy the experience at multiple levels. You have to buy it at the executive level. You have to buy it at the writing level. You have to buy it at the conceptual level. You have to buy it at the actual puzzle level. So like you can't just hire one person and expect it to fix all your puzzle issues. You know what I mean? So I get that. And then when you do temporary stuff for an event, it's obvious it's going to be buggy. And I'm not going to excuse that at all because it's really annoying and they should be, you know, testing the shit out of that. But bugs happen, especially when you work on something that goes over multiple devices. So like I get it, and that's why it doesn't make me angry. It's annoying, but it doesn't like piss me off. But I don't know. I guess it feels doubly weird to me because I just came back from playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that was a game that just feels clunky in every aspect, honestly. And it feels unfinished. And then I come back to this game and I'm like, every 6 weeks, this company is churning out something that's like pretty frickin' polished compared to like these games that I am playing elsewhere. And I find that fascinating. That somehow that's still not enough for people to just be like, yeah, this is cool. And I think people are just bored. I think they just feel like they've seen it all, they've done it all, and that there's nothing new for them. Which is fine. In lots of ways, that's valid. But yeah, I mean, that's basically my rant on the Archipelago this year. I also do think that if you prefer the game insofar as just straight up combat events go, I think the Archipelago is also probably frustrating because the combat events are kind of like mid for this event, right? So I don't know. I feel like it just different events will appeal to different people, and this one appeals to people who want to spend like 3 hours exploring regions and getting some story and stuff, right? It doesn't appeal to people who want to test the limits of their account or, you know, that kind of stuff. That's another thing. Like, we don't have to like it's I don't like the idea that we have to 100% everything right away. Like, I deliberately, when doing the Archipelago, decided I'm going to ignore every chest that I see, except the ones that are like I should just get because I might never see them again. I'm gonna ignore all of these chests because I've decided I want to just do chest hunting later, like when I have a couple hours to kill. Because I looked at the time limit and I'm like, I've got 35 freaking days to do this. That's an age. I got so much time. What am I doing running around in circles anyway? There was a point where I was going. So why not pace myself? Why not just kind of like chill and enjoy things? And so that's what I did. And I had a really good time doing it. You know, like I would do one island and one character story, and then a couple days later I would do the next one, and then a couple days later I would do the next one, and then I would finish the story and then be like, okay, now I'm gonna backtrack all the way to the first one, and then I'm gonna like slowly work my way through their domain and all through their puzzles and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just gonna slowly do that. And that worked out really well, and I ended up finishing, you know, like within a pretty good time period. And now there are a lot of people out there being like, oh my god, like Sumeru's in like less than a day or less, or you know, like, and I haven't finished the Archipelago, and I'm like, you had 35 days to do it. What are you doing? what were you doing with those 35 days there, buddy? I don't know. I guess I don't understand what people want. That's all it boils down to. I've said it so many times, but like that's just really what it boils down to. I mean, people can say they want end game content, they want new things to explore, they want to do this, but then when it really boils down to it, when you give them those things, they're not happy with it. And so I don't believe them when they say that they want it. That's my opinion. My exploration amount, I have 100%ed every area, including Enkanomiya. 100, 100, 100, lots of hundreds. The only thing I don't think I've done, well, I guess I have done 100%, but I still have sigils. So I know I still have like some stuff I can do down there. I just don't really want to go sigil hunting. I'll do it eventually. I mean, I guess I could have done that today. I honestly just keep forgetting about it. I keep forgetting it's a thing I need to do. I just keep forgetting. I did 100% the chasm. The chasm is done. That's the thing, is like if you only do like a little bit every day, eventually you have plenty of content, you know? You just have to pace yourself. It's not really a binge game. Oh, lovely. Hey, you. Okay. It'd be nice if it deleted it, though. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. There we go. Why is it timed out, though? Because, like, why do I not have an option to just delete it? What the heck?
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces
Huh.
when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition.
That's so weird because I have it set to that they have to subscribe for a certain number of time before they can even use the chat. So this bot actually subscribed to me and then decided to spam chat. So that's fun. But yeah, so that's my rant. That's my rant. Sorry to go off on a tangent. I kind of have to get that out of my system. It's just I guess just in life right now, I'm so sick of negativity. Like, I think it's good to acknowledge when things are not good. But I feel like it's a mistake to just do that without providing good, constructive feedback at the same time. And I'm not a fan of complaining for the sake to complain, and I'm not a fan of just like I'll be real, I'd love some additional endgame content. I really would. But if I think objectively about it, would I stop playing the game if it never gave me more endgame content? Probably not. And I think that's really what it boils down to. Like, why do you play the game? If you only play the game for endgame content, then please just go play Honkai. You'll be so much happier than you will in Genshin. Like, I know Genshin is bigger, and maybe you think you'll have a bigger audience, but trust me, there are so few Honkai creators that, like, the game needs more. It needs more people talking about it. It needs more people crafting about it. It needs more people, you know, streaming it. It just needs all of those things. So, like, I feel like people would be a lot happier in there, personally. But for some reason, they always come back to Genshin. And then they complain about it. I'd be a lot happier if like, I think if people were happy when they got the things that they asked for. I feel like if they even gave us endgame right now, and new endgame mode or whatever, that they just, like, no one would like it. Like, it's too little too late, or this endgame mode is not enough, or it's so boring, or it's just Abyss 2.0 or whatever. Like, I feel like that's what would be said. And you know what? It is a really good... I'm actually really glad Tower of Fantasy is a thing and that it's really popular right now, because I feel like it scratches that itch for people. I feel like it scratches the itch of the people who really want, like, intensive co-op, because that game is really built for it. I feel like it scratches the itch of people who wanted just something new, like a new flavor, because it's that. It's a brand new game, so no one has anything, so summoning feels fresh. Like, all that kind of stuff is really good. And I'm glad that people have that. I don't want to call it a distraction, but I'm glad they have that outlet, because I feel like maybe it's just me. I just don't feel like there's been that many games, like good streamable games that have been released over the last couple of years. And I could be mistaken about it, but because I don't, like, there's only so many game things I pay attention to. I personally won't be covering it because I just really hate MMOs. Like, on principle, I MMOs are exhausting. So I tend not to enjoy them very much, which is why I like Genshin, because it's like everything I liked about MMOs without the MMO part. There was a time in my life where I really enjoyed MMOs. Now is not it. Now is not it. I've heard really good things about Stray that I have not played it yet. Cult of the Lamb is something I've heard stuff about, but I haven't seen anything about. But a streamer that I watch looks like they're going to be starting it up soon, so I'm kind of excited to see what they're doing. You know what? I actually will do one more rant. I'm going to do one more rant because that's a very good point. Just to hammer home the whole Golden Apple Archipelago was better last year rant that I just did. Kind of case in point on I have no idea what people want anymore is the Sumeru stuff. Like with exactly like what you guys are saying in chat. Like it's not hype enough. And on the one hand, I understand why people will say that. Like I get why people say, oh, it's not hype enough. It's not the same feeling I got when I was going to Inazuma. And I'm like, yeah, but you know why that is, right? It's because Inazuma was the very first new region in the game's history, right? No one knew what to expect. But now with Sumeru, we've done it once. So we know a little bit of what to expect. So again, the novelty wore off, right? So you've got that working against you already. In addition to that, I actually think Genshin had a better lead up to Sumeru than they did for Inazuma. Because Inazuma, they kind of like showed us concept art and then that was it for like the previous stream. With Sumeru, they went a completely different direction and they decided that they were gonna do weekly teasers working up to the actual release of the region, which I thought was a lot smarter because of the sheer amount of stuff that they're doing. Because can you imagine if they took all of those teasers, right? And then they put all of that into the live stream with everything else that was in the live stream? That would have been way too much. It would have been so overwhelming. And yeah, I mean, you would have gotten hyped, but like, it would have been way too much. Way too much. So I think there was a better lead up overall. But that just kind of brings me back to a point about like chasing that same first time feeling, right? Like, you know how they say you'll never forget your first love? Well, you also will probably never forget your first shot of cocaine, but that doesn't mean you should chase it.
Time to go.
I know it's a terrible analogy. But I kind of just think about people who chase those highs, you know? Like if you chase that high, like you're always going to need a little bit more than the hit before and the hit before and the hit before. And we can even use that in terms of just talking about dopamine. It doesn't have to be like a literal drug, right? When you have dopamine and you need another hit of it, you're going to need a little bit more than you had last time to feel as good as you did last time. That's just how it works. You have to put yourself into a little bit of a withdrawal before things get that freshness back. Anyway, that's that is my rant. That is my rant. And I want to be very clear on one other thing related to that, because this is kind of a slightly contentious point, just in light of some other concerns that people have, which are completely understandable. Again, we have this split in the community at large where there's an argument over representation. And I think the argument is completely valid. I really do. But I also feel like that's separate from being hyped for a region. And I also think it's very important that the thing that Genshin has given me and a lot of other people, but I'm going to speak from my own experience, so I'm just going to reference me here. The thing that Genshin has given me more than anything else is the opportunity to get insight into cultures that I would have never, ever bothered to look into on my own prior to playing. And I'm talking like talking to people from around the world and getting them to talk about their culture because they had representation of it, right? even if it was small, they had some representation. Oh, this is referencing this myth, and I grew up with this, or this language is actually Sanskrit, and I speak it. I grew up doing this. Like, it's so neat to be able to see that. And you get to see it from all angles. You don't just get to see the good stuff. You also get to see the questionable things. And I think that something we have to remember is that culture is not always a good thing. There are a lot of negative aspects to it. You can just look at America. That's a perfect example of what happens when culture goes bad. I am saying that as an American. So I've really come to appreciate what it means to really look at problems through the eyes of people who don't think like me, right? And I really like when people don't think like me, because that's kind of what keeps things new, right? That's what keeps people going forward. That's what keeps things interesting. But being able to put those skills into practice and being able to look at China and be like, well, how does China see this issue? Why would they have made these decisions? Like, where are their priorities? And I'm talking like beyond just, it's a gacha game, they're trying to sell waifus, okay? I'm trying to look beyond those reasons, because those are kind of obvious and they're not very interesting to look at. And I think people forget to do that because they get really focused on, this is my culture, this is my thing, I know it best. And in a way, they're definitely right. But on the other hand, this is a fantasy game, and everything here is just referenced and inspirational. It's not supposed to be a one-to-one perfect representation of the thing that you care about the most. You know what I mean? And it's not an excuse for them to not, you know, make more variety, especially when it comes to skin tone, as we always seem to come back to. It's not really an excuse for that. It's just that we kind of have to understand how they view those sorts of things. Because from what I understand, you know, in China, representing other skin tones is not something that is thought to be a very big priority. Like, it's not a big deal. And I don't think it's necessarily right. I think it would be good if they could learn from us, and I think people should speak out about it, but I also think people need to learn to remember that, you know, their perspectives may not agree with yours. And you have to be patient and willing to explain and hope that they learn. And it really sucks having to do that over and over again. But, and again, I'm saying this as a very privileged white person in America. So take that as you will, because that obviously comes with a lot of caveats. Yeah. I want people to put themselves in the position of learning, like, almost all the time. Even when they think that they're teaching, know that the best way to learn is to teach. And if you are sitting there just telling people everything you're doing is wrong and you have to do it this way, you have to do it this way, without ever stopping to be like, well, why are you doing it this way? Why aren't you doing it the other way? Then I think something got lost in translation. And that makes it a very one-way discussion. I'm not really a fan of one-way discussions, even though I am sitting here streaming and talking to a chat, but can't really talk back except in small bursts of text. So, I mean, take that as you will as well. I recognize my own hypocrisy. It's fine. And I do want to recognize one other thing, and that is that China is very unlikely to listen to... Well, MiHoYo is very unlikely to listen to any user base that is not Chinese, because that is their primary audience, right? So unless the Chinese player base actually raises a fuss, no change will actually happen. So if you want to see change, you have to stop and think about how can I actually make change happen? And that's not going to start at MiHoYo, even if you yell and scream and cry and kick and quit the game and boycott and do all those other things. It's not going to actually change anything for them. So you have to think about changing the audience instead, in my opinion. It kind of feels weird to saying China doesn't like heresy about color, but it's pretty clear colorism is a big thing here, and that in their no. I think that's a little bit misinterpreted in what I meant, and maybe I did not say this correctly. What I mean when I say they don't see representation as a big deal is what I mean is they do have beauty standards that are very deeply ingrained in their culture, and it is problematic from a Western perspective. But I want to point out that I can't confirm this, but I don't think there are many Chinese people who will also consider it problematic at a large scale, right? So it's about what you think is a problem versus what somebody else thinks is a problem. Does that make a little bit more sense? Because they do see lighter skin as being more beautiful in a lot of ways. And I'm not convinced that culturally, and this is such a broad statement. I'm so sorry if I offend anybody when I say this, but I don't know a better way to say it. I don't think they see that as problematic. Like I don't think they see the hating on darker skin tones as problematic. I don't think they actually think that.
It's all yours.
It wasn't a raccoon this time! You know what? I'm leaving. That's my hot take for the day. And again, I'm not condoning it, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that if we want to understand someone, we have to try and see things through their perspective in order to understand why things happen. Oh, apparently, everyone else has never seen that either. Can we at least remember at the end of the day that this is a game and not a history on culture or class diversity is always good, and I always prefer characters that are good. But I always prefer a character's personality. Yeah, that's another thing. At the end of the day, like, we can argue for representation all we want, and I feel like we should, because diversity is just really great, in my opinion. I would love to see more of it. In all aspects, honestly, including body type, which never gets talked about, except we want buffer dudes. That's it. We never say we want rounder women or anything like that. We never say that. We should. We don't. I really want playable Juliana, okay? That'd be so cool. Treasure hoarder Juliana. Nice. She'd be so cool. I got off topic. But the point is, at the end of the day, this is a game that is up to the author's discretion. And Hoyoverse is the author, and this is their discretion, and ultimately that's their choice. So if we want diversity, we have to start by making changes with the people closest to us, and then hope we send out ripples from there. Because, you know, you got enough ripples, you'll make a wave. You make a wave, and maybe a boat will actually pay attention to you. But that is my opinion. And just to be clear, I do agree that we should have a lot more diversity in the game, both in body type and skin tone. And I was very surprised and disappointed that most of the characters were very pale. And that tan is basically considered black now, which is strange, but... We just have to do what we can and hope that that's enough. Anyway, I will say, for all the shit that I'm giving the game right now, I think what's been done so far is a really good start. Because, like, even through all of this lack of representation and all this lack of diversity that people talk about and all that, which is, again, completely valid. MiHoYo has done so many good things to represent cultures that almost never get any representation, and especially good representation. I'm a little worried about Candace, to be honest, and the way that they're going to handle her. But they have such a good track record that I'm hoping they'll handle that well. I got faith in that, you know? I want to be optimistic, and if it ends up not being the case, then I will fully take the L for that and be like, yeah, that didn't go well. And we can do an analysis on it. I'm more than happy to do that, and I think it's something that should be done. I don't know, I'm frustrated because like the world at large is also very negative. And so then you go to play a game and you want to just like enjoy things and immerse yourself in a world where you want to pretend that the problems that are in real life are just less of an issue, and then you can't. So that sucks. Anyway, don't mean to be political. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I'm trying to be as objective as possible, and I'm really trying to view things from as many perspectives as I possibly can. And that is really hard, and I don't always get it right. But I am trying. And if you guys want to weigh in on your thoughts on this kind of stuff, please do so in a comment, more so than in chat. Because like, while I do read chat and I try to keep going on chat as much as I can, I'm not really good at being able to read everything. So it would be really helpful if you can leave a comment if you want your opinion to be shared. And I would appreciate it as well, because I need to learn some alternative perspectives from myself, obviously. Yeah. I actually have one more thing. Because I want to talk about subverting expectations really super quick. It's my last thing, and then I promise I'll stop. And actually, I'm probably going to log off because my dogs are looking at me and they want to eat dinner. And I don't blame them because it's kind of late. There's one more thing. I was actually very surprised when I first mentioned that I was disappointed in the lack of darker-skinned characters in Sumeru. That a lot of the comments that I got back were, oh, so light-skinned Indian people don't exist? Light-skinned Iranian people don't exist? Like, I got a lot of those. And I was like, well, no, that's not the case. And it just made me realize that, like, we also just can't... Because this isn't something you usually think all that consciously of, or at least I don't. Again, I'm coming from a place of very white privilege. It made me remember that, you know, even in countries where you believe that most of the people there share a similar variances in skin tone, they don't. Like, there's such a wide variety, even like in the same bloodlines, in the same families, you know? And I forgot about that. Low-key, I forgot all about that. And I thought that was a pretty good point. And while I still would like to see more diversity, it's like, yes, at the same time, we do have to remember that, you know, going to Sumeru, and if every single character is a much darker skin tone, it is a bit like saying, oh, you know, all of them have brown skin. All of the people in these regions have brown skin. And they don't. That's just the truth of it. They just don't. So it's a complex issue. It's a complex issue. I don't have a good solution. I just think maybe more variation, but not like complete monotone of any color combination. Why are all of these floating? They don't usually do this. What is happening? Anyway, that's it. That's all I have. That's my last point. Promise. But hey, Flowcat, this is a super chat from a while ago. I'm sorry, I was on a roll and I saw it and I didn't say anything, but thank you very, very much for your super chat. I greatly appreciate it. For me, Genshin is not just a nonstop dopamine hit of gimmicky, flashy nonsense. They put love into the story and the world, and I genuinely love this world. Agreed with so many of the things you said. Yeah, again, it's like, why do you play the game, right? If you play for the story, then judge it for the story primarily. And yes, voice your concerns about things, but again, do so in a way that's trying to be constructive and educational than complaining for the sake of complaining, because you'll get so much less done if that's all you do. Here you go, doggo. I cannot pet the doggos, but I can feed the doggos. I am very... Oh, well. Feed the doggos, yeah. Finn's staring at me. Back to topic on lore. I will stick around for another 5 minutes, like legitimately 5 minutes. So if you have any last minute questions, please get them in, because I'm gonna be done here shortly.
Then it's really not all that
Because it is a work night tonight. I just wanted to have one last stream in case anyone had any last minute burning questions, had theories that they wanted to share. Any of that kind of stuff before the new patch drops, because I won't get to this tomorrow. Have I covered Surumi Island lore? No, because I thought the quests themselves actually did a pretty good job. And also, I don't know how many of you guys also watch them, but Clementine, I highly recommend them if you just want to learn lore. Part of the reason why I don't cover straight lore sometimes is because A, people find theories more interesting on the whole, so I tend to stick to those. And also I find covering lore a bit, I don't know, vanilla, unless it's really hidden lore, and then I'm like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna hunt for it. Yeah. But Clementine does a really good job of just covering straight up lore, and they had a couple of really good videos on Surumi and Inazuma in general. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do a lore video on it because they did such a good job. I'm just gonna leave it. I want this video to be the one that people find. So strongly recommend. Strongly recommend. Do I think that in Sumeru one of the playable characters will die? I think it's very possible. But the thing is like the longer that we go without getting teased on something like that, the less certain I am that something's going to happen. I feel like at best right now, we might have someone who gets completely incapacitated, but not dead. Or someone gets sucked into a vortex and we can't find them anymore. I think that might be a thing. Although, I will say, I have this weird feeling that our twin is going to die before we get to the end of the game. Or we're gonna think that they're dead. I got nothing to back that up with, by the way. It's just like a sneaking suspicion. Who am I pulling for next? Maybe Sino. If not, well, we'll just see. I'm thinking I'm gonna save for Scaramouche. I'm gonna try and C6 him if he ends up being playable. And if not, then I'll have like a massive stockpile of gems to do something with. Do we think any of the characters will get unalived? Yeah, I think I just said that one. Sumeru going to be a cliffhanger. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Isn't related to Sumeru lore, but are you going to make a theory about the Tsaritsa in the future? Maybe. I don't really have any good ideas about the Tsaritsa right now. Like that are theory video worthy anyway. Like I just don't have any. Zeldy, thanks for joining the scholars. Do I think Teyvat is just meant to die and disappear? I think it's very possible. I don't really want to go into why I think that though, so I won't.
One of my people will be here with umbrellas.
But yeah, I think that's a possibility, and a strong one at that. Z, are you interested in theory crafting, which is technically lore for numbers behind the game? Yes and no and no and yes. On the one hand, I really like theory crafting, like in my spare time, like having fun just messing around with numbers because I actually just enjoy it. It's fun. I'm not the biggest on min-maxing because I feel like you have to quantify and qualify data at the same time. Like, I feel like you can't just always say, oh, this is the best team because, hey, the numbers are biggest. It's like, if your team clears, then your team is fine. And then the rest of it just becomes optimizing for comfort of play. Because I think comfort and overall value and things like that of characters are just shoved to the wayside a lot. But none of that has to do with math, you know? Also, I don't know what it is, but I got a good taste of this from the Shinobu video I made. There's a lot of very certain types of people watch theory crafting videos. And they are people who tend to think that they are right in every aspect all the time. And that, you know, they know the exact correct way to do things all the time. And I have zero patience for those people. And I have a lot of respect for YouTube theory crafters who make these videos regularly, who have to deal with that all the time. Because I wouldn't want to do it. I would just turn comments off on my channel. Like, low key, I would do that because I just would not want to deal with it. That is how done I am. So while I have an interest in it, will I actually do more videos on it? I might do some hot take videos like the Shinobu one, but I wouldn't count on them being pretty common. I don't think I'll do many of them. Put it that way. I think, it's just a very different audience. And I don't vibe with them. For lack of a better character. Or for lack of a better way to put it. King Alex, what do you think of the Abyss Order's involvement in Sumeru? I don't know that they're involved in Sumeru so much as they're involved with something that just so happens to be in Sumeru, but I think that whatever they're doing this time, we're not getting Conria lore, we're getting Traveler lore. 100%. I think the Abyss Order knows some truths about the world that we just don't. Did I notice the Traveler's element color changed to Dendro when we first talked to Kusanali via the Dodoko back in Fischl's Mirage? No, I didn't. Well, now I want to go look at that. Thank you for sharing. That is interesting, actually, and that has many implications. If that's really the case and I missed it, I'm going to be really mad. At myself, not at you, obviously. Because I feel like that's something I should have noticed. Plu, I'm scared the game won't take a dark and serious tone after Sumeru. Genshin's story feels very kiddish. You know what? Genshin presents really difficult topics in very lighthearted ways. But it has really strong moments, and the world building behind them is pretty dark. I just think that they've limited themselves as to what they can show on screen. And I think we also have to curb our expectations about what we think dark is. Because things can be pretty dark without them actually getting, like, Bloodborne. You know what I mean? But yeah. Leo, do I think the Dendro Gnosis will show up at all this time around in the Sumeru Archon quest? I think we're going to see both Gnosis. I think we're going to get a double Gnosis reveal. I think that'll happen. For sure. Maybe not for sure. We're at least going to see the Electro one, and we had better see the Dendro one, because unless Kusanali has her own Gnosis, and gods can develop Gnosis rather than having to have them be gifted, because we're not really sure how that works. Depending on how that works, things could go very differently, you know? Things could go very different. So yeah, I think we'll get to see 2. I think we'll get to see 2. Not Constellation 2. I think we'll get to see 2 different... this is not the island I wanted to go to. What am I doing? I wanted to go over here. Do you think the twins are eons and are connected to the star rail? I think there's a possibility of it. I admit I am not as well versed in Star Rail lore as I feel like I should be. I'm aware of the eons and I know a little bit about them. I think if the twins are any of the eons, they would be Remembrance. But we don't really know enough about eons right now. So it's a little hard to say. Oh, Zajef is a saint for sure. Jesus. That guy has to put up with so much. I mean, all of them do. They really, all of them do. Really. Like, I've scrolled through their comment sections. It's not fun. I mean, I'm just glad mine was pretty tame. But even then, like, I don't think it's worth the aggravation. Honestly. I really don't. Ninkus, thank you very much for your super chat. What? Where'd it go? Wait, did I fall? Oh, I just vanished out of thin air. That was so strange. Oh, sorry. Distractions. I just want to say thank you for always taking your time when speaking about delicate topics and being mindful of your influence on your audience. It's much appreciated. Well, thank you for that. I'm not usually very good at it. I have to be very conscious of it because I'm not a very thoughtful speaker. I am a very from brain to mouth, no filter, right? Just organically, that's how I operate. So I'm trying to be very conscious of it, and I'm glad to know that I'm at least doing something right in that aspect. Because it's not an easy, it's not something that comes natural to me for sure. I think it's a skill that we have to learn over time. I'm getting better. But I will say, I've had incidents even lately that are pretty, you know, where I definitely didn't say things that I should have. Or that I said things that I shouldn't have. It might be getting a little late for my brain. Why the hell Dottore wants to burn down the Irminsul? Who knows? He just likes to do fun things. I think he thinks it would be fun. So down it goes. Burn, 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 burn. Sometimes when you see something, you just want to squish it, you know? Like a bug or a really cute mouse. Do I find it odd that the Traveler didn't speak Tevat's language despite having been on Tevat when Conria was first around or fell? I mean, kind of, but we don't know how long they were awake for, so it's hard to say whether or not they actually knew any language. But the fact that they picked it up really quickly either means that they're really, 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 really smart, or that their dialect has a lot in common with Tevat's language. Which I think is more likely the case. I'm gonna take 3 more questions and then I'm logging off, all right? I've already done this like way longer than I said I was going to, and my voice is starting to go out. Fun fact, here's some lore. I was gardening the other day, but I was working with moldy hay, and I ingested a lot of spores. Even though I put a mask on this time, because I did this another time too. And those spores have settled in my lungs again. And I'm going to be possessing a sore throat and a dry cough for probably about a month, if my last experience was anything to go by. And I am trying very hard not to cough on stream, which is what all the tea is for. So my vocal, what's the word? Endurance is very low right now. Right. So 3 more questions. Haru, do you think Scaramouche will get factory reset? No. That is an unfounded fear. He will not be factory reset. Because I won't go into like a huge thing, but like it would completely undermine his entire story to factory reset him. And I just don't think they'll do it. They've spent all this time slowly building him up, putting him in some of the most important important quests, like, period. Mostly just unreconciled stars, but still, like, they put him there. They could have put anyone there, right? They could have put Child there for all it mattered, but they didn't. And everything that we've done is just a preview of everything that's gonna happen. Unreconciled stars, that's gonna happen again in Sumeru in a different way. All right, that's my prediction. Iridori has kind of been, well, it's not been settled, but I think it'll be settled a little bit better. I don't know why I just did that. I didn't mean to use my skill. I mean, I did, but I didn't think that through. Oh wait, these are Animo. No, I can use my skill. It's fine. Yeah, I feel like the factory reset thing is completely unfounded. Because again, it undermines his whole story. His whole story is about finding his own identity. I do think he'll experience a lot of character growth. But that's different. You know, like, getting redeemed, quote unquote, through having an event that actually changes your mind about things and you trying to do more to be a better person and to do better things as an immortal being is very different from pressing a reset button, I'm a blank slate again. You know? It's very different. Because if you just factory reset him, you're basically telling people that the moral of the story is people don't change, people can't change. The only thing to do that you can do is to basically kill them and kill their identity. And I don't think that's the message that the game wants to send. It kind of just goes against everything that it's built up so far. So no, he's not going to get factory reset. I am so confident about that. I think it's an unfounded fear. But I get why people would be afraid of it. But I, again, do expect some personality changes because while you can't really change the core of someone fundamentally, you can change things about them that make them more palatable, right? It's called compromising. And that's probably what's going to happen. And I think that's good. And some people will still hate him or will have liked him before that will hate him because he went through some personal development, and that's okay. I like how James is in here like, yeah, blunt, so blunt, and no one's going to have any context for why he's saying that. My buddy of how many years I've lost count. Devin, why do you think they decided to represent the twins as teenagers rather than adults like other playable characters? Because I think they wanted, A, them to be relatable. B, because youth is considered to be very attractive. And having them be adults might make it feel like the game is a little less accessible to some people. Personally, I think. But I also think they're more childlike because they need to kind of bridge that gap between the cynicism of adulthood and the optimism of childhood. And I think from a literary standpoint, that's what they're going for. Because that's kind of what Nintendo does with Link, you know? Because they always say, oh, he's so pure of heart, he can see dragons that only children can see. It doesn't mean Link is a child. It just means that he still has the heart of a child, right? But he's still an adult-ish, because he's usually, like, 16 to 19-ish, depending on the game. Unless you're Toon Link and then you're actually a kid, in which case, yeah, you know. No cynicism yet. Don't worry, kid, we'll burn it into you. Last question, because I'm tired. Do you think that when the traveler fully restores their memories, that they'll actually start speaking more? No. but this reason has nothing to do with lore. I think that MiHoYo wanted the Traveler to feel a little bit more self-insert-y in their original vision for Genshin, and then realized that they ended up having way more personality and individualism than they thought, and that people didn't relate to them nearly as well as they were hoping or expecting. And by that point, they had already kind of committed to the whole silent protagonist, Paimon is your spokesperson kind of thing. Also, I feel like they also made that choice in part due to budget constraints, because in the early game, right, they didn't have a massive budget. That was only something that happened after the game launched. And they realized, oh my god, we have a hit on our hands. But they didn't have the budget to pay for lines to get voiced by 2 different characters every time they wanted the Traveler to speak, because they would have needed a voice for Lumine and a voice for Ether, right? Whereas if you have voice for Paimon, you only need 1, because Paimon's gender doesn't change. So I think that was a big part of it. But what I will say is that I think they've changed their stance on how they feel about self-inserts a bit, because they've changed the way the main character behaves in Star Rail. In their next game, Honkai Star Rail, it's a similar thing with the main characters. I won't say they're twins. They're not twins as far as anyone knows. But, like, you have the choice to choose your main character's gender, right? And you can choose male or female, and it apparently is supposed to change things, I guess. I don't know what it changes, but it changes some things. So even though you can change your voice lines, they gave the main characters completely unique animations for each other, depending on your gender. Like, even the personalities are very different in their animations. Like, the female is very hot-tempered and a little bit violent, whereas the male is very cool, collected, protagonist style. And their voices definitely reflect this, and they make them talk a lot more. They didn't give you a Paimon this time. I don't know why I swirled first. Don't ask me questions. It's late. So yeah, I think they've learned their lesson, and they will be changing it in their games going forward. I think for Genshin, for now, it's kind of a done deal, because Paimon's just the thing now. Oh, right, my artifacts have respawned now, and now I could actually farm them. I will do this tomorrow, because I am whooped, and yeah. I'm whooped! I'm whooped! Absolutely whooped. This is a long 5 minutes. Listen, I'm going to explain to you before I go the difference between Chronos and Kairos, okay? As we know, Kairos is supposed to be the other name of Istarath, the god of time, supposedly. But they also call her the god of moments, and I had this explained to me by someone who speaks very good Greek, and they were saying, listen, when you talk about absolute time, you talk about... This is a Hydro one. When you talk about absolute time, you talk about Chronos. 1 hour is always 1 hour. It's like a mathematical value, right? But when you talk about perceived time, you're talking Kairos. So you know how people say, like, time flies when you're having fun? Well, technically that would mean that your Kairos time is longer than your Chronos time. Or is shorter than your Chronos time. Sorry, because it's flying, it's going fast. So if you think, oh man, that event went by so fast, or that concert was only an hour, but man, it felt like it just only took 5 minutes, right? That's Kairos. Whereas Chronos is an hour. Always. It doesn't matter what it felt like, right? So if this is a long 5 minutes... I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was going, actually. Yeah, there you go. That's a better way to put it. Chronos is objective time. Kairos is perceived time. There you go. That's so much easier. I went on this long tangent, and you did it in, like, 6 words. That's how you know it's enough internet for today. No, I said 3 more questions. I did the 3 more questions. I'm done. I'm done for tonight. I'm done. I am going. But before I go, I do have to tell you, because I always do at the end of these videos. I have to tell you that my schedule coming up. That's what I'm going to tell you. Here's a plan. Here's a plan going forward, because there's going to be a whole new region, and I have not been streaming during a big new region, right? So here's the plan. It's going to take me a long time to digest Sumeru lore and kind of sift through it and decide what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I do have 3 videos that are already in my queue, and meaning that I'm currently working on writing them, that I will be releasing before any Sumeru videos, all right? So those are going to be coming out to kind of like bridge the gap between now and Sumeru lore, okay? Although I will probably do like a quest recap, analysis, speculation kind of thing. For sure, I'll do that after the Archon quest, but everything else will wait. And then what I will do is I'm going to be doing world quests and things like that off stream, okay? And I'll be doing exploration and chest gathering and oculi hunting and all that kind of stuff on stream. I'm going to do all that kind of stuff on stream. So we'll have a lot more opportunity to kind of like sit down and chat and talk about things that are happening, answer questions that you may have, all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. We'll have a lot more... Well then. Mine.
It's all yours.
What a way to end. What a way to end. Listen, good karma. Feed the kitties. I thought I already got that achievement. Apparently not. So that's new. Okay. Hooray! Oh, and obviously this also this will happen. This will appear as a VOD or saved on my channel. And if you don't see my streams, it's because I feel like they clog up my channel page. I put them unlisted into a playlist that I do feature on the channel. So if you ever want to rewatch old streams or just have them playing as podcasts in the background, I do save them all. They are available. You just have to go manually get them on a playlist, okay? And this one will go on there too. Okay, anyway, I'm off. I am off. Where am I? I am... Okay, I'm right here. Voila, right here. Anyway, goodbye, farewell. I'll be to say goodnight. And happy Sumeru launch day. Farewell. Goodbye.